Hello and welcome. I'm Paul Nashawaty coming to you live from the show floor at Monday.com, Elevate25. I'm joined today by Lindsay Browning. Lindsay, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Great to have you on. I'm glad that you're joining me today.
Well, thank you for being here at our Elevate conference.
Yeah, it's a great conference. Busy, lots of people.
It's so busy, so busy.
Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself or your role and a little bit about Monday?
Sure, so I'm at Monday 18 months.
Okay.
I'm our VP of Enterprise Sales, and I'm here to make sure that we go on a journey with our customers that lasts a very long time.
That's awesome. Yeah, you don't have a hard job at all, right?
Well, easy-ish.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that, when we look at the amount of volume and traffic that's hitting the show floor, it is an exciting event. I mean, with this day one of the event, the show floor is busy, the keynotes very, very well attended. I'm very impressed by the amount of traction we're seeing on the show
thank
floor.
you for saying that.
Yeah.
This is my second Elevate, and interestingly, compared to last year, this is double the size of customers.
Oh, that's awesome, that's awesome. So why do you think that?
I think there's a couple of reasons why. Obviously we're growing as an organization, we're a global company, and we focus essentially on three types of customers. You'd have our SMB, our mid-market, and our enterprise customers. But we're no longer just speaking to users. What's important to us is we're speaking to business owners, CEOs, executives that are truly helping their business evolve and move forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've been following Monday for quite some time. I remember when Monday was only 50 people in the company.
Yeah.
So it's grown quite a bit.
It is.
So let's talk a little bit about AI,
yes.
right? I mean, so now we have AI kind of in the mix. It's changing the dynamics of how people are working and such. So it's really reshaping all aspects of the industry and all aspects of it. So but from your perspective, I know you're going to do a keynote or you're going to do a presentation.
Yeah,
That's going to be awesome. I can't wait to attend that. But from your perspective, how is AI changing the way professionals are kind of collaborating or working together?
Yeah, so first of all, you mentioned something that it's completely changing the way we work. I actually think that from this moment on, our professional identities are forever changed. And in ways that is extremely exciting, and in other ways that's a little bit fearful, personally and professionally. So what I'm going to be focused on tomorrow is just simplifying ways that you can win with AI in work. That's essentially the talk track where you'll meet just 5 of our incredible AI innovations. But you mentioned collaboration, which is one of the most important things for any company to be really good at, but it tends to be, quite frankly, one of the hardest, right?
Yeah.
From a human interaction perspective, but then from a technology perspective. So we help companies, and we're working with companies to make sure that work in silo can no longer happen.
Right.
And we want to be able to show the advantage of when you collaborate on the platform or you simply collaborate on projects, initiatives, OKRs, the value of what gets done together is more powerful than alone. And that's the essence of what Monday.com is.
I love it, I love it. I just did a recent research study, and I found that 75% of the respondents indicate they use 6 to 15 different tools across their ecosystem. They're not liking that because there's a lot of frictions, a lot of silos you were mentioning. So you talk to a lot of customers, right? A lot of customers, wherever they are in their journey, whether they're very immature in their journey or if they're very mature. What are the challenges organizations are running into?
Yeah, so I'm going to share 2 things with you that a lot of CIOs that I speak to are focused on. And it doesn't matter where they are in their journey, right? If they're innovators, early adopters, or laggers, there are 2 things that are very important. One is adoption.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I am going to change the tech stack and I'm going to take you from 15 to 5 products, how do I ensure you log on every day and you use them and it adds value? And the second thing feeds into that. A lot of CIOs want to reduce the amount of systems that their organization are using, and there's 2 reasons why. One is simplicity and adoption, but the second is cost.
Yes, yes. Yeah, actually, in the same study that I was referring to, I asked CIOs their #1 challenge that they were running into with modernization and such.
Yeah.
And the 2 barriers that they hit me with was complexity and skill gap issues, right? So I know cost is definitely a factor, but skill gap is also a factor, especially when you're looking at all these distributed
100%.
systems, right?
Yeah.
So it gets confusing. So, when you're talking to these organizations and they struggle with this tool fatigue, right? How important is it for these organizations to reduce the number of tools. And like, I know in my research I see that there's a large percentage of these organizations that are in favor of a unified approach or a unified platform. What does that mean from a Monday.com perspective?
Yeah, look, I think when you think of tech stacks, you think of, or just simply tools, there's need to have and there's nice to have. And if I'm coming into work every day and I want to focus on the work that motivates me, I want to be in the tools that are my need to have, they're my go-to. Yeah. But in organizations, especially global, large enterprise organizations, there are many tools that we have to touch. But the tools that are the nice to have, they're good to dip in and out of. It's the need to have is where the winning formula is for a lot of companies. The challenge on top of that is you have many different teams in an organization and quite frankly, many different people on their technology comfort level or I guess journey, right? Yeah. So people like what they like.
They do.
We're creatures of habit, right? That's the hardest change that we're seeing is if one team likes one tool, but they depend on another team to work in the same tool and that team doesn't like it, that's where we see a bit of friction.
Yeah, so I hear you. I hear that, I looked at my research the same way. A lot of individuals in organizations love their bespoke tools. They love their environment, they use it, right? Yep. Change is, if people
hard.
Change is hard.
Change is hard.
Change is hard. So, but I'll ask, because we started the conversation around AI, right? So how can AI really simplify some of these complicated workflows?
I think you need to live in the flow of work. And that's what I'm going to open up with tomorrow. I'm going to talk about the fact that, for Monday in particular, we are living where you work, we are responding to how you work, and we're solving the complex challenges that slow down your work. When I come in the morning, and if I'm on Monday.com or if I'm on another tool, I want to do my work in that place. And I want it to be quick, and I want it to be easy, and I want to help it to me be better. So the ability for any company to have AI in the flow of work, plus the ability to learn in the flow of work, I think that is going to help with simplification and adoption.
I agree with you. I love that response because that response really gets people motivated to do their jobs, right? Yeah. It's not about showing up and going, I hate my job, I hate the tools. It's the satisfaction of going to work and doing the work that you like to do, right?
Like we spend more than half our lives at work.
Oh, exactly.
Right? And often in the tasks that drain us. I want to do the work that's extremely rewarding, and honestly, that helps me learn and pushes me outside my comfort zone. Yeah. That's what all of our customers tell us.
Yeah, so you mentioned like the power of starting a familiar use case, right? Yeah. What about ease of AI use cases? Do you have any examples that you can share to help drive some of this? Yeah,
so there's one example I'm going to share tomorrow. It's probably the quickest win that I'm seeing that's gaining kind of that adoption, that buy-in, that traction, is just automation in the flow of work. So a simple case study tomorrow is a finance manager, right? Alex, that would normally spend hours sifting through receipts, right? Looking at kind of vendor name, invoice number, due dates. And now with the likes of those AI blocks that are built into the flow of work, it's going from hours to minutes, even seconds. Right. So simple tasks that can be automated, that's where we're seeing the biggest value and the biggest win.
I absolutely agree with you. AI obviously is the top of mind for many companies. They're trying to like initiate projects with AI in them, right? There's budgets that put aside just for AI. 25% of IT budget is allocated for AI projects. So we're seeing the same thing in our research, so I agree with you. And those use cases are really the ones that are really highlighting the fact that this is important. And I guess when organizations or our viewers watching, they may think like, well, this is way too complicated for me, or this is way too, like I'm already beyond this, or whatever it may be. What is your advice for somebody that's starting out in this journey and getting ready to go?
Well, I feel that I'm on that journey myself. I don't deem myself technical, but I'm a builder, right? And I want to find ways to get more satisfaction in the way of work. I think you have to lead into curiosity. You have to want to understand, first of all, why. What does it mean for me? Where do I get value in it? How's it going to make my day better? How's it going to make me feel better? And then truly to understand what it means for an entire team and then an entire business. Be curious, seek to understand, try it out, play about, figure it out. But what I'm loving seeing from some of our customers is, some of them are creating committees, they're creating train-the-trainer models, and the employees that are finding value are teaching back to the other employees in the flow of work.
Love that.
And I just think lean in.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, what we're seeing, I cover app dev in one of my practice areas, and we're seeing the growth and development of applications in various stages, but it's no longer the professional developer, right? It's the lines of businesses that are doing the development, or creating the applications, I should say, right? And they're doing this with simplicity of using AI, right? But it's the advantage of not the technical advantage, but the collaboration of the human interface with the data sets that they have access to, and having the lines of business being able to do what they need to do frictionlessly. That's a big, big factor. Would you agree?
I completely agree, but I'm going to bring it back to something that matters for anyone working in any company. You're all focused on solving the same problem. And it's about perspective, and it's about different ways of thinking. And I think that's where that intimidation comes down. If you come together to focus on what is the optimum way to grow the business and take the business forward, you need people from different parts of the business to help you solve that problem. And I think that's the beauty of where we're seeing customers ease that fear, but just we're all rowing towards the same goal.
That's great, I agree with you. Yeah. I agree, I think that everyone's trying to get there, they just want to figure out the right path. It's 100 roads to the same destination, and figuring out the right way to go. So, all right, Lindsay, I'll ask you this question. We're here at Elevate 2026 next year, a year from now. You've been here for 18 months now, and now you have full year under you from now.
Yeah.
What do you want to see different from the market, the landscape, and what's happening with regards to Monday, Monday.com?
So I think that the hardest journey we're on is simply change. And when I spend time with my customers here next year, I want to hear the stories that have been embraced through simply leaders bought in top down, communicating the value of AI in the day-to-day work, and then seeing impactful results for the individual, for a team, and for a business. I just want to see how you're living in the day-to-day with AI as a partner, not as a tool.
Yeah, well said, well said. Well, Lindsay, thank you for your insights and your perspective. Really adds a lot to the conversation. Thank you for being on with me today.
Thank you.
And thank you to the audience that's watching. I'm Paul Nashawaty, live from the show floor at Monday.com, Elevate 2025, on theCUBE, your leading source for tech news.